seems to have been a long while since we've done this. The 12th season of the Sprint Championship. We are back at Spa for the opening round. And we are currently in qualifying, and we are looking at what might be one of the best Ferrari liveries, apart from obviously Tom Barthold, who currently isn't here, but will definitely show off his livery once he comes back on. And, well, the best livery in town. I not mean the best driver, but that is the first mistake we have seen in qualifying. A pretty easy one to make at that. Another Ferrari here. It is Samuel Gere, or Hare, or however you would say that. Not really too sure, so if you know this person, then do let me know if I am saying it correctly. Samuel Gere is what we'll call him for now. Also driving the Ferrari, the 111 white Ferrari, currently on their first flying lap. I'm wrong, it's not a flying lap. It is just an out lap. We'll see the first person who comes across the line to start the first flying lap. I'm pretty sure it will be Mirko Terrazas in the black, red and white Lamborghini. Hopefully he will not be doing too many off tracks during his qualifying lap. Otherwise it will not be very valid. But never mind that. Here he comes across the line, and we'll see what this lap is going to be. And we can actually ride on board with him to see how it would be if you were driving this beautiful Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2, and I'm pretty sure that's just a bit too off track there. So that lap will not count. But Vadim Ilyachov coming across the line now. Start his lap, I hope. Coming down the famous Kemmel Straight down towards the chicane, a chicane that might catch a lot of people out today. They're taking it nice and easy. And actually, we've already had our first couple of laps. Thomas van Struis taking a 2:18.5. That's a very good lap from him. Actually, I was wrong. Samuel Hare did set off a valid lap. It was a 2:19.0, only 5 tenths off the current leader, current pole time in the Mercedes. Actually, very good time in that car. Ruslan Zaitsev, another person to set a valid lap. It is a 2:19.1 in the McLaren. Ivo van Kollenberg, 2:19.3 in a very red McLaren, the 269 car. Yeah, Michael de Groot in the, wow, very bright car with OnlyFans branding on the, what is that car? That is absolutely amazing. 2:20.0 in the Ferrari. Bradley Nielsen, a 2:29 in the Porsche. Definitely has a bit of work to do in order to catch up to everybody, but I think Tom Bartels actually got back on, and there he is in the beautiful livery. As you might recognize from our iRacing streams, the marvelous pink livery. I'm just going to make a little bit of a edit to the stream. And there we are. See what Tom is going to be able to do in that beautiful Ferrari. Hopefully some good laps, as Thomas not able to improve on his last lap, but only 2/10 off his personal best, and he's currently going purple, even though he's only done one corner. As Jake Spinner goes at 2:21.4. Benjamin Koo finally been able to put out a valid lap in that Ferrari. It's a 2:20.7, and he is going quicker. Let's see where he's able to end up at the end of this qualifying session. Ruslan Zaitsev going up to P2 to the front row with a 2:18.9, currently the fastest McLaren out there. Samuel O'Hare also improving at a 2:19.0. So that means that Ivo van Kolenberg going down to 4th place. That is not what he wants at all. Van Kolenberg is going to be setting up his next lap. He wants to make this one count, but we can look at Thomas, who is going rather quick. 2/10 up on his time, 3/10 up as he heads through the bus stop chicane. I think he's picked up quite a lot of speed through there, as he's just gained another 10th. He comes across the line now. It's going to be into the mid-18s. It is an 18.3. It is actually into the low 18s. Very good lap from him, but Ruslan Zaitsev is trying to dethrone the Mercedes man as he comes across the line. He's going to be very, very close to his time. It's a 2:18.5, only 2/10 off, and he is pretty content with that. He comes across the line and slows right down. Michael de Groot not finding pace. Benjamin Koo is finding pace, but it is invalid pace. That's not really going to help him with his job up the grid. Reese Valentine setting an invalid lap as he comes across the line. Harry Giselle trying to set his first flying lap. As actually we drop back down to 15? No, that's definitely 16. I'm not sure why it says. Oh, no, it's back down to 15. It was drawing 15 and 15. Which is how it comes across the line. As fast as it is a 2:18.8 so far. Invalid though. Comes across the line. It's still invalid. As Daniel Volkov up into P4, it's a 2:19.2, and that demotes Van Kolenberg down to P5. Still invalid this lap, I'm pretty sure. As he comes across the line, I hope it's a valid lap because this is pretty alright. Comes across the line. It is not a valid lap, but it is also slower, so not much harm there. Next person to be coming across the line is going to be Daniel Volkov, and he's still got quite a way to go, but he's already picked up 7/10. Ideally he wants 8 or 9. Is there a little bit of a slide there? I'm not sure. I was covering half my screen with the timing board. 8 tenths up. Ideally 9 in order to be able to go for the pole position time. He is 9 tenths up. Let's ride on board with the McLaren man, as he is going purple through a couple of these corners compared to Thomas. 1 whole second up. Can he dethrone Thomas? Will the Lamborghini in front of him get in his way? I really hope not. I think it's the number, I'm not sure what number that is, but I hope he doesn't get in his way as he's on an invalid lap there. And towards the bus stop chicane, Daniel Volkov is going to be hoping that the Lamborghini makes a mistake. He does. And he's not going to get in his way, as now Daniel Volkov, is it enough? Did he get caught up? No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Oh, and 4 hundredths of a second separates him and Thomas. And that is genuinely heartbreaking. And the next person who can probably dethrone Thomas is Van Collenberg, as he's 1.2 seconds up. He's got the Ferrari in front of him, but I don't think the Ferrari is going to get too much in his way, as he's 1.5 seconds up, 1.7 seconds up. I hope my timing screen is correct, because if it is, then he's on an absolute flyer, as he does, a 2:17.9. Great stuff, and we are into the 17s. As Van Collenberg shows us it is all possible. Schnell Schnacker. Is it going to be an invalid lap? Unfortunately, it is. Now Thomas has a bit of work to do in order to reclaim his pole position time. As Van Collenberg makes a bit of a mistake, and he's down into the pits. Apparently there's been a collision between Michael Groot and Mirko Terezas in qualifying, so that's interesting. Really not sure how people are colliding in qualifying, but nevertheless, never question. Never question. But as qualifying is coming closer to an end, as Eric Giselle sets a 2:16.1, absolutely flying lap. Else improving on their laps. There's a couple that still need to do their laps. Those will be Mirko Terezas, Alex Londar, who's sitting nicely in the pits, and Vadim Ilyachov, who's still yet to set a lap. Come on, guys. It's now or never. It really is now or never. Vadim Ilichov get it in time. We'll just have to wait and see. But qualifying is very close to an end. About 2 minutes to go, so anybody who's starting a lap now will be on their final lap. That will be Eric, who's going to be starting his final lap, trying to beat his lap is going to be pretty hard. Vadim Ilichov also going to be setting his final lap, or going to be starting his final lap now. Same with Benjamin Koo, who ideally wants to go a lot quicker than this. We all know that he can go much quicker than this. If you remember him from our iRacing streams, this man is pretty quick when things come together. Samuel Hare will also be starting his final lap. Sadly, this one is 2/10 off his personal best. He would like to be a just fraction of a second quicker, just to get ahead of Reese Valentine. Schnellschnacker will be setting his personal best and starting his final lap. It is going to be 2/10 up. He will go ahead of Jake Spinner here, up into 11th place at 2:20.3, and he is going to hope that he has some more in store. Daniel Volkov was very close, very, very close to Thomas's time at one point in this qualifying session, and it all went a little bit downhill when a Lamborghini went off in front of him and kind of distracted him. Michael de Groot also going to be starting his final lap, so will Jake Spinner, who will want to get ahead of Schnellschnacker, and Reese Valentine is going to be going a 10th, no, it was just a fraction of a second quicker, but into the 18th, so a very good lap there. Whoa! Ruslan Zaitsev gets his lap time completely destroyed as Mirko Terrazas missing the corner. Absolutely missing the corner. And he is not going to be happy with that. Mirko Terrazas not going to be setting a lap. And that is it for his qualifying session. There's Vadim Ilichov not able to set a lap, and I'm not even sure where he went. Benjamin Koo also not able to keep it on the track, and unfortunately his time is not going to be valid, although it is 2:19.762, which would have put him ahead of Tom Bartels. Schnellschnacker going to be coming across the line now. He is a 10th up, and it is off track. And that is it for the first qualifying session of this season. We'll see what more has in store for us. There's Vadim Ilichov back in the pits, but unfortunately back a bit too late. And that is it for the qualifying session for Spa. As we can have a look at the grid in just a moment. Well, a pretty short qualifying session there. And we now have our final final starting grid for this race. Eric Giselle takes a pole position by a whopping 1.8 seconds ahead of Van Collenberg in the red, very red. McLaren ahead of Thomas van der Stroes on the second row of this grid. Then comes Daniel Volkov in fourth place. Behind them on the third row of the grid is Ruslan Zaitsev, who unfortunately had his final lap time kind of destroyed. I think it was him. Yeah, destroyed. And he has to settle for fifth place. Alongside him is Reese Valentine. Behind them is Samuel Hare in the Ferrari. And next to him is another Ferrari of Michael de Groot. And then comes Tom Bartels in, yet again, another Ferrari. And this time in our team livery. Alongside him is Benjamin Koo in what I can say is a beautiful livery. Also in the Ferrari, Schnell Schnacker with 3 L's. Starting on the sixth row of the grid. Alongside him is Jake Spinner in another McLaren. Behind them on the seventh row of the grid is Bradley Nielsen. I need to see the full name. Bradley Nielsen Vestergaard in the second Porsche. And Mirko Terezas in 14th place. Then comes Alex Landar in 15th, the lone BMW, and alongside him is Vadim Ilyachov, who unfortunately was not able to complete a lap time. Neither was Alex Landar or Mirko Terezas. But that is it for the grid rundown. We have about 2.5 minutes until the start of the formation lap. And we'll see how the start of the race goes. I'm pretty sure we'll see. I think I have faith in our drivers that they will not crash in the... what's the corner called? In Rouge, in Radelon. That I think I have hoped for our drivers. But down the Camel Straight and after it is a very hard ask, I have to say. Very hard ask. I'm not sure why we're not being shown our drivers. Maybe Helicam is going to do us a little bit more proud. Yes, it will. This track is interesting whenever it comes to starts of the race. We've got a whole hour, so even if something wrong or something bad happens at the start, it should be pretty alright. But not really much to say about this track. It's one of the longest tracks of the season, apart from the Nordschleife. A lot of a variety of speed of corners. I mean, I've got the track hung up on the wall right next to me. You know, you've got the official turn one, the source, is a corner which you don't take quickly at all. It's a sharp hairpin, but then you go straight up and you've got a Rouge and Radelon, which are super high speed corners, which require a bit of finesse in order to do correctly. Then you go down the Camel Straight, a long straight in which if you lack the straight line speed from having too much drag, you will suffer a lot. Then you've got the chicane straight after it, which also if you downshift too quickly or you brake too quickly, you're not going to have a great fun time. After that, you've got a couple of mix of mid to low speed corners of no name. And Brussels, or Bruxelles, or however you want to say it. And then mid to high speed corners of Pouon. And the other chicane after it, kind of, it's a weird chicane. And then you've got a long straight with Blanchimont, which isn't really a straight, but it's full throttle all the way through, in which you don't want to be going side by side through at all. And then you got the bus stop, which is super low speed, unless you are dive bombing, in which case it is very high speed. But we're on our way now. And if you have any predictions for how this race will go, then do drop them down in the chat. My prediction is that my prediction is actually a quite positive one, and that we will get through lap 1 with not too many casualties. I know it's a very vague prediction, but it's very hard to make specific predictions. If we're making vague predictions, then I think we will get through lap 1 with not too many casualties. But if we're making specific predictions, then I think this man on the screen right now, Eric, will be winning the race. And we will have 2 or 3 crashed cars in this race. So out of the 16 that are on the track right now, I have a prediction that 14 will finish, or 13 will finish. And if more than that finish, then there will be a couple that are more than 2 laps down. That's my prediction for you today. Make sure to laugh at me when it goes completely the opposite way. There's Alex Londar missing the start of the race. He's now forced to start from the pits. Not a great start to the race, if I say so. But now the drivers lining up on the straight before the bus stop, which is not going to be the start of the race either. Because they've still got this one little straight to go. And then they'll be able to start this race, which hopefully will not be too chaotic. I say that. I'm just going to shut up because I don't want to jinx it. But now, towards the straight we go. Towards the finish line, towards the start-finish line, where a marshal is waiting patiently with his green flag on the left-hand side of the screen. Or now will be the right-hand side, and we are green for the first race of this season, as Eric Giselle slots right in front of Van Collenberg. A great start from him, but Van Collenberg is already under pressure from the Mercedes behind. It is a relatively clean start from behind. Looks like everybody getting through pretty okay. And, oh, there is Tom Bartels having a little bit of a party for himself. Van Collenberg trying to defend from the McLaren behind as Thomas actually getting caught up and he's off the track. What's happened to him? Why is he all over the place? As he slips back down into 4th place. And it's not the start that he was looking for as Alex Lundar is finally on the move. Samuel Jair making a move on Ruslan Zaitsev here for 5th place, and it's a pretty good move at that. As we can now see the race gaps instead. I don't think Tom Bartels is having a great time there, as he is absolutely phasing through every single possible place. Not sure what that's all about. Thomas now back up into 3rd place from 4th. As I think he got past Daniel Volkov, who got past him at the start. That'll be a long race to go for Thomas and Van Collenberg, as both of them are going to be fighting hard. And as you can see, there is also the BOP, so that it is a little bit more of a level playing field. As Van Collenberg makes a big mistake there off the track. Cold tires playing a big factor in that. As Thomas can now put on the pressure and hope that he makes a mistake, as Eric is already nearly 4 seconds ahead off the pack behind, and as long as he just keeps it nice and chill, I think he's going to be in for a good race. As look at Daniel Volkov making a big dive there on Thomas, but Thomas has a different idea of his own, as he is going for the move, or trying to go for the move on Van Collenberg, Van Collenberg. Inside into the chicane. Does he have enough speed down the Kemmel straight? He's also got Daniel Volkov on the inside, and that's not going to be received well, as Daniel Volkov off the track there and completely overestimating his braking power. And that is Vadim Yashov right in front of him, absolutely overestimating his power of the brakes. As Benjamin Koo also having a pretty beat up car. Thomas plummeting down into 6th place. He's going to have a hard time with that broken diffuser. But Ivo Van Collenberg at least now is free from the pressure behind, and he can set off on a race of his own. But a person that can't set off on his race on his own is going to be Ruslan Zaitsev, as he's got 3 wide into the chicane. That is the first time I've ever seen that, and that is exactly why that is the first and last time I'm ever going to see that, as Schnacker sent right off the track. Ironically, Jake Spinner also sent off the track, and so did Ruslan Zaitsev. Now, yeah, apparently going 3 wide in a corner where you can't really go 3 wide is not very good. But thankfully they're all getting on their way now, and yeah, it was a bit of an ambitious move there by Thomas. I'm pretty sure he's just feeling very angry with the missed opportunity that he had. But we've seen what Thomas can do. We've seen his pace and how close he got up to Van Collenberg. And maybe even with the damage, he's going to be able to come right back at him as Samuel Jair. That was a pretty good save. As we can have a look. Oh, maybe not have a look. That is very very far back. And Samuel Jair, did he just bottom out? Oh, he catches the curb there. Ooh, so nearly a perfect 360. Where thankfully he got back going. And also in the background we saw Daniel Volkov going off the track. What is it with me seeing Samuel Jair and he is off the track every single time? But we can have a look at the side-by-side action. Mirko Terezas and Schnell Schnacker going at it. Joined the stream 2 minutes ago and already so many skill issues. Yeah. It's not your regular A performance, although Eric up there is doing what A would have been doing right now. The game is still broken badly. Somehow I started 2 kilometers behind the rest. And everyone was teleporting around. Yeah, I did notice that you were kind of just looking through the walls and peeking at what's outside of Spa instead of staying on the track. But also in a very not a common way. Benjamin Koo making his way up into P5. Even with all that damage, he has been able to power on through. Next target for him is going to be Michael de Groot. Never had that happen to me. Haven't played ACC in a while, but that sounds like pain. Yeah. It very much is pain. Already verified the game files. Nothing wrong. Internet and PC are both fine, yeah. More than fine now. Stupid. This emoji thing is getting in the way, yeah. See, I've never had that happen either, as we completely missed the overtake of Vadim Ilyachov on Benjamin Koo. I'm really not sure what's going on with your game, Kermit. Is iRacing fine? Is it also acting up, or? We can have a look at Brandy Nielsen Vestergaard, a name that doesn't really fit. iRacing is 100% fine. That is rather peculiar indeed. As look at Benjamin Koo getting so close. All of that iRacing action that he's been getting into recently with our team, really helping him with the racecraft, I have to say. Not to say that his racecraft before was not good, but now it is absolutely up to standard. Being able to follow the driver in front nice and closely. Even with the damage that he has going on right now. Also rocking 296 on iRacing. A pretty solid car at that. Schnell Schnacker getting close to Daniel Volkov, but not close enough. And Samuel Hare, I'm afraid to spectate this man, as I'm sure that I'm going to curse him somehow. And Samuel Hare gets in ahead of Mirko Terezas and up into P9. 5.4 seconds to go to Schnell Schnacker. Mirko Terezas has Reese Valentine hunting him down behind him. As that's an unconventional line there by Mirko Terezas. It's 100% going to be an off-track warning that might turn into a penalty later on down the line. But will Mirko Terezas go down the inside, or look down the inside? He is, and that is a very ambitious mover, Samuel Hare, having to avoid him and not able to avoid him. That's all. Yeah, Eric has a very healthy gap to P2 indeed, as he's going about 1.5 to 1.8 seconds a lap quicker than P2. But P2 and P3 are very equally paced, both within the same 10th and nearly within the same 100th as well. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Go up the grid, see what is happening with Daniel Volkov, as we were looking at Schnell Schnacker trying to make a move on him, and oh my lord, and Schnell Schnacker is able to keep that one going. I'm not sure how he did that. And there's going to be quite a lot of penalties going on for these drivers, I am sure of it. Ruslan Zaitsev closing the gap to Mirko Terezas as Jake Spinner spins and is now trying to get back on track. Oh, he stole the car. Alex Londar, unfortunately, down in 15th place. As Michael de Groot having a common problem in his... Oh, Vadim Ilyachov just able to avoid him there. And back into the pits he goes. Unfortunately, that is going to be close to race-ending damage. Hello, Petro. Hello. There's Jake Spinner into the pits as well. And now, Ruslan Zaitsev, less than a second away from Mirko Terezas. And we can see, does he have the straight line speed? No, he doesn't, but he is getting perilously close, and he's going to try and go around the outside, but nothing coming of it there. Again now going on the inside, Mirko Terezas banging doors. All within the rules of GT racing, but will Mirko Terezas come back at him? I don't think he is close enough, and he's going to have to settle for 12th place. Very close fighting so far in the first quarter of the race. Is it possible to register at the championship even though it already started? Yeah, absolutely. You can sign up right now. I can send the link in the chat. That is where you can sign up, and yeah, absolutely you can sign up. And there is also going to be one or two. I think there's going to be one drop round, so everybody will 100% miss one race at the minimum. So yeah, you are welcome to sign up. Ruslan Zaitsev now going down the inside of the Porsche, absolutely missing the corner, and both of them missing the corner. And flashbacks to qualifying anyone, as he does a little bit of a burnout there. When's the Nords race? Yeah, that is going to be the final race of the season, which is going to be May 17th. And now we can go back up to the fight that has been going on for quite a while now. Daniel Volkov and Schnell Schnacker fighting it out for P6. still don't have the Nordschleife. I recommend it. Very good track. Very, very good track. Although I will say the price is a bit steep. It is a little bit close to iRacing prices for a single track, but it is a very good one at that. I mean, and also my prediction from early in this race is absolutely right so far. As we're heading into the more cool-down phase of the race, we're at about 14 or 13 cars left. So, you know, I was a bit correct when it came to that. Schnellschnacker able to find a gap. Oh, we're not able to hang on to it as Reese Valentine getting closer and closer because of this. And so is Samuel Hare. Or Ger. Hope one of the pronunciations is correct. That's what I'm always saying too. And oh, Schnellschnacker finally able to find a gap. And he went for it. And Daniel Volkov not even going to be side by side through a Rouge and Radillon. He is up into P6. But now Reese Valentine looking closely and hoping that these guys make a big collision and crash each other out, and he gets a free pass to P6. As it nearly happens. Schnellschnacker making a big mistake there. Daniel Volkov going ahead of him. Reese Valentine going to be on the inside of Daniel Volkov, and they're so close side by side coming into Brussels. But he is through, and so is Samuel Hare. And I think Daniel Volkov might have some issues with his suspension. Let's have a look. No, he's still steering straight. Everything seems to be in order. Look at now Reese Valentine. He is only 4/10 away from Schnellschnacker. Samuel Hare, next person in line to go for an overtake in the top 6 is rounding outside. Will this actually be a move? Samuel Hare trying to force his way on the inside of Reese Valentine, and is it going to be a valid move? Reese Valentine gonna say no to that, but will Samuel Hare rounding outside off La Source get a better exit here, do a little bit of a switch? I don't think he's got the exit speed, unfortunately. And he's going to have to settle for 8th for the time being. With Daniel Volkov behind is going to be, well, if it's a Russian name, which I assume it is, which means kind of wolf, he's going to be hunting these guys down. Samuel Hare looking for the slipstream. Nothing coming of it. what's happened to Benjamin Koo. Ooh. We're gonna have a look at the replay. I'm sorry, Benjamin. And this is really important. Why did he cause a yellow flag? Out of the chicane, too much curb there. Too much curb on the outside, but thankfully not hitting any walls. And he's fine to go on his way. Just a bit of a scare for the Malaysian man. Samuel Hare still in pursuit of Reese Valentine for 7th place as Schnellschnacker flying away from P7. He is opening up that gap. Oh, Samuel Hare, a little bit of a late decision there to not go for the move as Ruslan Zaitsev. I hope he wasn't the one who caused this. So you can also look at the replay. Rear chase camera investigating what happened between Ruslan Zaitsev and Brandy Nielsen Vestergaard. Coming towards Blanchimont, a terrible corner to go side by side through. And oh, just completely forgetting that he's there. A little bit of a unfair move there, but will be fairly penalized as we can have a look at the replay for what happened here. Why was he on the grass? Lost control of the wheel. Very unlike Benjamin Koo. What did happen? Not really sure, but he is also back into the pits as the pit window finally opens up. There's a 15-minute pit window in which you have to change your tires, and you have to change your fuel. Not change your fuel. You have to refuel, and it is a set fuel time as well, which means that everybody refuels at a minimum of 25 seconds. And there comes Reese Valentine into the pits. So is Daniel Volkov. Both are the first pitters in this race. We'll see when Eric Giselle comes into the pits. It might be this lap. But for sure, whichever one of these guys gets a better exit off this pit will be ahead. Putting my best Will Buxton impression on. Whoever comes out first will be ahead. As they make their way through the long pit. Now registers for the championship. For the moment, I'll only race a Monza. See if I can do any other races. Absolutely, mate. It's great to have you back. Also, I have seen you on iRacing, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember which race it was, as most of the people are coming into the pits now. Not sure which, I don't know if it was a race or if it was a practice session for Sebring. You know, it's interesting to see your name up there. That's for sure. Oh, you did a 12-hour, nice. We also were supposed to do the 12-hour, but we did have a bit of a technical issue. 24-hour Daytona, yeah, we did that as well. Again, we got messed up in the 12-hour of Daytona. We were going to finish the race in first, but what we did do instead is get crashed out by GTPs 3 times and have around 6 to 12 minutes of damage. The 24-hour, not the 24, the 12 hours of Bathurst, we were leading by 60 seconds or 50 seconds, and then what happens is I got a bit too close to the wall, I scraped it, but I didn't just scrape it, apparently I got the wheel alignment all out of place, and that was like 2 minutes of damage, where at least we finished P4. It was like on the last like 1.5 hours or something. But then we compensated for all of that, or I compensated for all of that, by winning a 2.4 hours of Sebring and finishing like on the podium for a couple of the other pre-12-hour Sebring races. But yeah, next is going to be the 6 hours of Le Mans for the team, then the 6 hours of, or I think it's 4 hours in the Nordschleife Endurance Championship. We're going to be doing that. And then the 6 hours of Nordschleife, and then the 24 hours of Nordschleife. So, a pretty busy schedule for the eSports team, I hope, in which I will be driving in. In Daytona, we were leading for about 10 hours. Oh, what's happened there to Reese Valentine? Why is he back in the pits? We were leading for about 10 hours, but then P2 overtook us 2 hours before the finish. We finished P2, 17. Oh, that's pretty good, though. It's really good. Hello, Ben. Been a long time. Nice Reese Valentine into the pits. Oh! It's a drive-through for track limits. Yeah, it's our first year as well. It is so exciting. I have to say, anybody who's watching this stream right now or is going to be rewatching it, I highly suggest trying out iRacing. Even if I think FIA is doing like a very big discount of, I don't remember, I think it's 12 months you get for really cheap, plus you get a first. You get a F4, I think it is. You got an F4, and yeah, I think that's because of the FIA games that they're going to be like celebrating and everything. But definitely give it a try. I've been hooked on it ever since. Suddenly lost all my FFB a few laps. You see, I don't know what it is with you and luck in sim racing. But it seems to just, like, never be there, is it? I mean, when was the last time you had a good race that was, like, not caused by, like, your actual problems? Because the Daytona race that you ran with us, I mean, you remember what happened. Duh. Got taken out by GTPs. Back-to-back 180. No, I didn't. I only saw the... was it the Camel Straight one? Because we rewatched the... the replay. Now Giselle into the pits. So is Thomas Van Stroos that promotes Van Collenberg up into P1. And the pit window is still open for another 7 minutes. How much iRating So I was gonna go up to 3,000 a couple of weeks ago, but then I had the holidays go up, so currently still sitting at 2,800. And yeah, it's been a lot of really easy races though in the strength of field that I'm in. Like, yeah, no, it's 2.8 to 3,000 I rating fields are easy. Especially in the GT4s. I mean, I don't know what it is with people that do the GT4 and LMP3. It's very easy to get ahead of them. Yeah, so my account, by the way, is the Artemielen 2. Because Artemielen 1 is me, but on account that I lost. That one was because I had my software up at the same time while trying to figure out what it was. You know, I did notice you were just randomly on the grass. It was very unlike you, because I was like, that's not what he does, usually. Man, I need to get back up into the iRacing groove yet again before the 6 hours of Le Mans next week. Is it next week? It is not next week. What is next week? There's something going on. I mean, there has to be something going on. No. There is nothing going on next week. What a bummer. No, 6 hours of Le Mans is... Oh yeah, 6 hours of Le Mans is by... Williams, by the Williams eSports guys. No, not an official race. As Van Collenberg comes into the pits as well with his super red McLaren. Yeah, I highly suggest also participating in the Williams Gaming Club events, because yeah, they put on a good show all the time. Although in the last 6 hours of Sebring, completely lost all vision of the track as it was raining. Braked like 50 meters too late. Car locks up and bosh, gone. I'll be racing in the 296 as usual. Absolutely. Absolutely. 296 is the GOAT. Or at least I love the 296 a lot. Not gonna lie, I've basically given up on raising my I rating in sprint races. Either I have a skill issue or someone has a skill issue into me. Trying to drive in the Lords right now for the WGC and yeah. If you want to train, there's the VRS in Le Mans. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, that's going to be good. VRS Le Mans, I think that'll be perfect. What about Vec? What about IMSA? Where is IMSA next week? I think it's... I don't remember what it is next week. All I know is that the GT4 right now is at Road Atlanta, and I really want to drive it again, because for some reason I like Road Atlanta now. Again, IMSA will be Long Beach. Okay. Yikes. Oh, IMSA is Road Atlanta this week. Ah, shoot. For the moment, it's Road Atlanta. Best track of the world. Huh? Interesting. Not gonna lie, I think best track right now for me on iRacing is... It's hard to say, actually. I'd say it's Bathurst. Really, I really enjoyed the Bathurst race. And all of the races surrounding Bathurst, that was like the VRS and the GT3 Challenge, that was really fun. Mainly because everybody around would die and I would stay alive until the 12-hour race in the last hour for some reason. Didn't race at the 12 hours of Bathurst, so I don't really know the track on iRacing. It's very different from ACC, that I have to say that. I don't know which one is more correct, but it was really fun. Also enjoyed the Bathurst races. There's also a very famous clip. Very famous clip, man. We enjoyed the Bathurst race, let's just say that. We absolutely enjoyed the Bathurst race. Why is Tanner's ass in the pits? He's got to stop go 30. So has Reese Valentine for speeding in the pits. No, nothing happened. It was fine. It's alright, guys. Eric having a collision with a certain condiment, exactly. A very popular one at that. If you want, we can train Le Mans next week in VRS. Yeah, I'll see if I have time. I'll see if my friends want to join me too. Absolutely. I think it's going to be... They said it was going to be a wet Le Mans race. Yeah, it's called the WGC Lorraine. I'm pretty sure they want to put as much rain as possible. Yeah, well, absolutely Petra, mate. I did very much enjoy the Le Mans race in the LMP2 when they were running it in the, what was it called? It was some sort of endurance series as well on iRacing. Ran it in the LMP2. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to race in it. Could always use another GT3 driver. Hey, I mean, we have quite a bit of. I think it was the Global Endurance Tour. It was like a 4-hour race on the Le Mans, in which we got to like 30 minutes because my teammate decided to do a little bit of trolling. I don't know if it was a 4-hour or a 2-hour 40. Because we didn't get to the end. It was an official race, it was. Let me have a look. It was somewhere in the archives. Yeah, oh, it was a 2.4-hour race. It was indeed a 2.4. Or 2-hour 40. qualified a very good P1, about 1.2 seconds quicker than P2. IMSA, right? Thank you. And then I think on the start we got a slowdown, which that wasn't nice. Yeah. I do like it when they name it that, but then it's not a 2.4 hour race. Turns out to be 2 hours 40, or the other way around, where it is a 2.4 hour race that is actually 2 hours and 24 minutes. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for people to count. You know, we got the slowdown right on the start of the race. It was in the chicane, down to like P3, P4, and then we go on, 25 minutes of damage. And Bosch. Yeah, he braked a bit too hard. It's like when Burger King sold I think it was a half pound. I think it was a half pound burger because people thought that the McDonald's quarter was burger because the number on the bottom is bigger. So it must be a big thing. No, it really wasn't. But yeah. And that's why now McDonald's calls it a double quarter pounder. So it looks like you're getting double of an already big thing. It's ridiculous, really. Yet again, Mirko Terezrosa coming into the pits. As you can see in the background there, Ivo van Kollenberg closing the gap to P2 of Thomas van der Struis. Apologies. In the last 16 minutes of the race. See if he's going to be able to get up there. Samuel O'Hare coming into the pits, and he's got a drive-through for... What could you get a drive-through for? It's cutting the corners. Can have a look at the pace. Van Kollenberg was a second quicker last lap. This lap they are about the same. I still think Van Collenberg is closing that gap, and he did close that gap this lap. And Samuel Hare comes out of the pits from his drive-through, and he's now very far away from Daniel Volkov. And unless Daniel Volkov completely crashes his car into a ditch, not sure there's much that Samuel Hare will be able to do. And there, from the splitter camera, you can see little white dot there. That is Thomas van der Struijs. And last lap, Thomas was quicker. He was a whole 10th quicker than Van Collenberg. A little bit of a mistake there. You could hear him lifting off the throttle. Not where he really should be lifting off. Looks like this time Thomas is getting slower. The tire wear on that Mercedes might be catching up to him. As Van Collenberg able to set for a lap time 4/10 quicker than Thomas. Final 10.5 minutes to go, and you can see Van Collenberg, well, he is getting way too close to the back of Van der Struijs' back. And an off track there for Van Collenberg. Hopefully it wasn't a drive-through. It was not. And Van der Struijs actually gets a -5 kilos on his car. Whereas Van Collenberg plus 24 last lap to 20.1. Van Collenberg responds with a 2:19.47, tenths quicker at that last lap. And Van Collenberg, you can see there in the rear view mirror of Thomas. You can see on the bonnet there the straight line speed of the McLaren, and he's going to go for the overtake. Is he going to be able to go around the outside off the chicane post the Kemmel straight? Ooh, too much speed, and that is all hopes gone for Van Collenberg to get that P2. Absolutely bottling there, and that's a heartbreaking sight. Absolutely a heartbreaking sight. And I think just carrying too much speed after having a lot of that slipstream, that good old slipstream. Oh, wait a minute, what happened to... Oh no, don't tell me. Van der Stoes also had a moment which we completely didn't catch. And that does promote Van Collenberg up into P2. I completely phased out of it. And maybe the fight is back on, but I don't think Van Collenberg is going to be too unhappy with what happened there. There's a next battle on our hands is Ruslan Zaitsev and Rhys Valentine. They've got Mirko Terezas in front of them. Hopefully he gets out the way pronto. Don't get too much in the way. Hope he doesn't. Into no name they go. And Mirko Terezas steering out the way. I think when Thomas lost stress after Evo spun, he also lost focus for a moment. Yeah, you're right. That does happen when you kind of know that, well, at least you think that that's it. The space is yours. You know, it was going to be the last 8 minutes or so. He was not going to need to fight for it anymore. Everything was going to be good. And then you kind of overestimate your car or underestimate the corner and go flying off. Happened too many times. I mean, I've lost focus during the 12 hour because when we were doing the calculations actively in our head, we were like, okay, so they need to be gaining about 1 to 1.2 seconds a lap, and currently they're gaining less than 0.8, and you know, we're doing pretty well, and I think the final stint is going to go da-da-da. And we're like, yeah, you know what, even if they finish about 5 seconds behind us, we still win. And then, yeah, the wall. I'm still very mad about that, because that could have been our first official win. And what happened was just a completely classic Bathurst moment. But at least I don't feel too bad, because I've seen professionals now do it as well in the 12 hour of Bathurst. And oh, what happened there to Daniel Volkov? Also losing focus there. So don't tell me Mirko van Kollingberg. Did Dries rage quit again? No. He is just not able to race today, so he signed out of today's race. Yeah, no, he didn't start this race. Could have gotten them Love Life keychains a few weeks earlier, indeed. Still yet to order them, but I did kind of make up for it by buying the Genshin plushies. Looking very snazzy in my car. Also surprisingly high quality. I have to say, if you want something really cheap, then AliExpress can it is a 50-50, but AliExpress is not too terrible. It's a very big 50-50 though. Any Hondas? No, unfortunately no. No Hondas on the track. We do have a BMW. We have a Porsche. I have a McLaren in the wall. And we have a Ferrari as well. Oh, and a Mercedes. Where is the closest battle? It is still Ruslan Zaitsev with Reese Valentine. 80% McLaren. Ish. Let me see. So 11 McLarens, 5 Ferraris, 3. Yeah, it is pretty much McLaren. I'm not even going to count the rest because I know it's just McLaren. One more lap to go for Eric. It's been a very quiet race for him, has to be said. A very quiet race. Taking on the role of Abe when he's not here. And absolutely dominating. It's not even a GT3 race anymore, it's just a Mecha Series and some other cars. Yeah, I mean it's a similar thing on iRacing where it's just Lamborghini, Porsche, sometimes Mercedes when it's a meta car on the track. Even though I don't remember the last time when it was a meta car. And then some straggling Ferraris that do it because they do the Ferrari challenge. And that's it. There is Eric Giselle in all its glory, running the Visceral livery. Big up Visceral. Pretty banging team, pretty banging manager. Which, by the way, if you are watching this, hello Pran. Or if you are going to watch this later, still hello Pran from the past. We in the 296 are trying to keep up the diversity. Yeah, and we're also trying to not just bring up the diversity, but also show that such a car can still win races, or get close to winning races. We're trying to show that... Oh, what's happened here? Ruslan Zaitsev and Vadim Milichov nearly colliding, or they did collide. Yeah, showing that the 296, at its core, being a pretty terribly BOP'd car, can still be better than some high-rated Lambo and Porsche drivers, which so far has only happened 3 times. I'm totally using 296 for that reason, not because I can't afford another GT3. To be fair, we have extracted a lot out of the 296, which I didn't think that we'd be able to do. But enough yapping about that. Let us celebrate the first win of the season. It is a win number, I don't remember how many. I don't remember how many wins Eric has with us, but nevertheless, Eric wins the opening round of the Sprint Championship in the Porsche, with Ivo van Collenberg going to be coming across in 2nd place. Because he has ran out of fuel. He has 100% ran out of fuel. He is coasting. Does that mean Thomas might have a chance here? We shall wait and see. Ivo van Collenberg not going to be pushing all the way to the end here. You can hear he is halfway off the throttle. Even more. 296 is super stable, right? So you could just set it off aggressive and be fine. But you cannot spin that car. It is a challenge in itself to spin that car. It is so stable. And the only thing that... Oh my god, actually Thomas might get P2 here. Because Ivo has completely ran out of fuel. It is going to be a race to the line, I'm pretty sure. Ivo has one more corner to do. Thomas looking at Ivo. And is he going to get him? Oh, I'm not really sure. I don't think he will. Oh no! Oh, what a show of sportsmanship. He's pushing him to the line. And he's going to finish ahead of him in this race. Wow, that's an adorable thing to see, to be fair. It's the first time I've seen somebody who sees their opponent running out of fuel, and instead of taking that position and being like, yeah, I got P2, you know, respecting that some things can go wrong, and pushing him across the line and letting him finish ahead of him. It was pretty adorable. And Schnell Schnacker is going to be the final person to come across the line to finish this race in 4th place. A great race for him, missing out on the podium by just a little bit. But yeah, that is all for this race. Thank you so much for everybody who has watched this opening round. And if you did enjoy it, then do like and subscribe. It's a free way of supporting us, and it does mean a lot. And also, if you do want to join the championship, you are allowed to join midway through. So there is the link for anybody who's interested. And we will all see you next week. Or depends on if we have any iRacing races going on. But probably we'll see you all next week, same time, for round 2 at Monza. Till next time, see you all.